Animal kingdom. Basis of classification. In spite of differences in structure and form of different animals, there are fundamental features common to various individuals in relation to the arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of xylem, patterns of digestive, circulatory, or respiratory or reproductive systems. These features are used as the basis of animal classification. Level of organization. Though all members of Animalia are multicellular, all of them do not exhibit the same pattern of organization of cells. For example, in sponges, the cells are arranged as loose cell aggregates, that is, they exhibit cellular level of organization. Some division of labor, that is, activities, occur among the cells. In coelentrates, the arrangement of cells is more complex. Here, the cells performing the same function are arranged into tissues, hence, is called tissue level of organization. A still higher level of organization, that is organ level, is exhibited by members of Platyhelminthes and other higher phyla, where tissues are grouped together to form organs, each specialized for a particular function. In animals like annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms, and chordates, organs have associated to form functional systems, each system concerned with a specific physiological function. This pattern is called organ system level of organization. Organ systems in different groups of animals exhibit various patterns of complexities. For example, the digestive system in Platyhelminthes has only a single opening to the outside of the body that serves as both mouth and anus and is called incomplete. A complete digestive system has two openings, mouth and anus. Similarly, the circulatory system may be of two types: open type, in which the blood is pumped out of the heart and the cells and tissues are directly bathed in it, and closed type, in which blood is circulated through a series of vessels of varying diameters, arteries, veins, and capillaries. Symmetry. Animals can be categorized on the basis of their symmetry. Sponges are mostly asymmetrical, that is, any plane that passes through the center does not divide them into equal halves. When any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves, it is called as radial symmetry. Coelentrates, ctenophores, and echinoderms have this kind of body plan. Animals like annelids, arthropods, etc., where the body can be divided into identical left and right halves in only one plane, exhibit bilateral symmetry. Diagrams showing radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry are given. Diploblastic and triploblastic organization. Animals in which cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, an external ectoderm and an internal endoderm, are called diploblastic animals. Example: coelentrates. An undifferentiated layer, mesoglia, is present in between the ectoderm and the endoderm. Diagram showing germinal layers is given. Diploblastic has mesoglia, ectoderm, and endoderm, and triploblastic has mesoderm instead of mesoglia, and ectoderm and endoderm. Those animals in which the developing embryo has a third germinal layer, mesoderm, in between the ectoderm and endoderm are called triploblastic animals. Example: Platyhelminthes to chordates. Coelom. Presence or absence of a cavity between the body wall and the gut wall is very important in classification. The body cavity which is lined by mesoderm is called coelom. Animals possessing coelom are called coelomates. Example: annelids, mollusks, arthropods, echinoderms, hemichordates, and chordates. In some animals, the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. Instead, the mesoderm is present as scattered pouches in between the ectoderm and endoderm. Such a body cavity is called pseudocoelom, and the animals possessing uh, such coelom are called pseudocoelomates. Example: Aschelminthes. The animals in which the body cavity is absent are called acoelomates. Example: Platyhelminthes. Diagrammatic sectional view of coelomate. Coelom between mesoderm, pseudocoelom, and acoelomate. Segmentation. In some animals, the body is externally and internally divided into segments with a serial repetition of at least some organs. For example, in earthworm, the body shows this pattern called metameric segmentation, and the phenomenon is known as metamerism. Notochord. Notochord is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development in some animals. Animals with notochord are called chordates, and those animals which do not form this structure are called non-chordates. Example: Porifera to echinoderms. Classification of animals. Broad classification of kingdom Animalia based on common fundamental features. Phylum Porifera, Oscillomate, mostly asymmetrical, cellular level of organization. Coelenterata nidaria and Ctenophora shows tissue level organization and are oscillomate, diploblastic, radially symmetrical, tissue organ or organ system level of organization. Shows tissue level of organization. Platyhelminthes, Ascalminthus shows organ level of organization. Without the body, platyhelminthes are oscillomates, that is without body cavity, that triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical. Ascalminthus shows false coelom, pseudocoelomates, bilateral, triploblastic, annelid, arthropoda, mollusca, echinodermata, hemichordata, and chordata has true coelom, are coelomates, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, shows organ system level of organization. Echinodermata exhibit radial or bilateral symmetry depending on the stage. Radial symmetry by adult and bilateral symmetry by larva. This is called as retrogressive metamorphosis. Phylum Porifera, commonly known as sponges. They are generally marine and mostly symmetrical animals. They are generally marine and mostly asymmetrical animals. These are primitive multicellular animals and have cellular level of organization. Sponges have a water transport or canal system. Water enters through minute pores called ostia in the body wall into a central cavity, spongocoel, from where it goes out through the osculum. This pathway of water transport is helpful in food gathering, respiratory exchange, and removal of waste. Sinusoids or collar cells line the spongocoel and the canals. Digestion is intracellular. The body is supported by a skeleton made of spicules or spongin fibers. Sexes are not separate, that is, they are hermaphrodite. It means eggs and sperms are produced by same individual. Sponges reproduce asexually by fragmentation and sexually by formation of gametes. Fertilization is internal and development is indirect, having a larval stage which is morphologically distinct from the adult. Examples of porifera are cycon, euspongia, and spongilla. Cycon, scypha, euspongia bath sponge, and spongilla is a freshwater sponge. Phylum Coelenterata or Nidaria. They are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile, or free-swimming, radially symmetrical animals. The name Nidaria is derived from the nidoblast or nidocyst, which contain the stinging capsules or nematocysts present on the tentacles and the body. Nidoblasts are used for anchorage defense and for the capture of prey. Cnidarians exhibit tissue level of organization and are diploblastic. They have a central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening mouth on hypostome. Digestion is extracellular and intracellular. Some of the cnidarians, example corals, have a skeleton composed of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians exhibit two basic body forms called polyp and medusa. The former is sessile and cylindrical form like Hydra, Adamsia, etc., whereas the latter is umbrella shaped and free swimming like Aurelia or jellyfish. Those cnidarians which exist in both forms exhibit alternation of generation, that is metagenesis. Polyps produce medusa asexually and medusa form the polyps sexually. Example, Obelia. Examples of Coelenterata are Phycelia, Portuguese man of war, Adamsia sea anemone, Pennatula sea pain, Gorgonia sea fan, and Meandrina brain coral. Diagrammatic view of cnidoblast shows nematocyst. Examples of Coelenterata indicating outline of their body form: Aurelia, Medusa, and Adamsia, polyp. Phylum Ctenophora are the one of the largest to swim with help of cilia. Maximum size is 1.5 meter. Ctenophores, commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies, are exclusively marine, radially symmetrical, diploblastic organisms with tissue level of organization. The body bears 8 external rows of ciliated complates, which help in locomotion. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Bioluminescence is the property of a living organism to emit light. is well marked in ctenophores. Sexes are not separate, reproduction takes place only by sexual means. Fertilization is external with indirect development. Examples Pleurobrachia and Tinoplena. They contain chlorophyll for photosynthesis and absorption of energy. Extra energy is then radiated during night. Diagram of Ctenophora Pleurobrachia is shown. It has anal pore, coloblast cells, mouth, gut, tentacles, plates or chains. 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates or teens. Phylum Platyhelminthes. They have dorsoventrally flattened body, hence called flatworms. These are mostly endoparasites found in animals including human beings. Flatworms are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and acoelomate animals with organ level of organization. Hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic forms. Some of them absorb nutrients from the host directly through their body surface. Specialized cells called flame cells help in osmoregulation and excretion. Sexes are not separate. Fertilization is internal and development is through many larval stages. Some members, like planaria, possess high regeneration capacity. Example Taenia, tapeworm, Fasciola, liverflick. Diagrams of Taenia, tapeworm, and Fasciola, that is liverflick, are given. Phylum Ascalminthus. The body of the Ascalminthus is circular in cross section, hence the name roundworm. They may be free living, aquatic, and terrestrial, or parasitic in plants and animals. Roundworms have organ system level of organization. The bilaterally symmetrical triploblastic and pseudocoelomate animals. Alimentary canal is complete with a well-developed muscular pharynx. An external excretory tube removes body waste from the body cavity through excretory pore, or H cell, also called as Rennet cell. Sexes are separate, that is dioecious, that is males and females are distinguished. Often females are longer than males. Fertilization is internal. Development may be direct. Young one resemble the adult or indirect. Examples Ascaris roundworm, Workeria filariaworm, and Cyclostoma hookworm. Diagram of Ascalminthus roundworm is given. Male and female Ascaris. Phylum Annelida. They may be aquatic, that is marine and freshwater, or terrestrial free living and sometimes parasitic. They exhibit organ system level of body organization and bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic, metamerically segmented, and coelomate animals. Their body surface is distinctly marked out into segments or metamers, and hence the phylum named Annelida. In Latin, annulus means little rings. They possess longitudinal and circular muscle which help in locomotion. Aquatic annelids like Nereis possess lateral appendages, parapodia, which help in swimming. A closed circulatory system is present. Nephridia help in osmoregulation and excretion. Neural system consists of paired ganglia connected by lateral nerves to a double ventral nerve cord. Nereis, an aquatic form, is dioecious, but earthworms and leeches are monoecious. Reproduction is sexual. Example Nereis ferritima earthworm and Hirudinaria, that is blood sucking leech. They show serial homology. Diagram of Nereis and Hirudinaria are given. Phylum Arthropoda. This is the largest phylum of Animalia, which includes insects. Over two-thirds of all named species on Earth are arthropods. They have organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, segmented, and coelomate animals. The body of arthropods is covered by chitinous exoskeleton. The body consists of head, thorax, and abdomen. They have jointed appendages. Arthros means joint, poda appendages. Respiratory organs are gills, book lungs, or tracheal system. Circulatory system is of open type. Sensory organs like antennae, eyes are compound and simple. Statocyst or balancing organs are present. Excretion takes place through malpighian tubules. They are mostly dioecious. Fertilization is usually internal. They are mostly oviparous. Development may be direct or indirect. Examples economically important insects like Apis, honeybee, bombyx silkworm, lassifer, lac insect. Vectors like Anopheles culex and Aedes mosquitoes. Gregaris pest, Locusta locust. Living fossil, Limulus king crab. Diagrams of arthropods. Locust, butterfly, scorpion, and prawn are given. Phylum Mollusca is the second largest animal phylum. Mollusca are terrestrial or aquatic, that is marine or freshwater, having an organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomate animals. Body is covered by calcareous shell and is unsegmented with a distinct head, muscular foot and visceral hump. Head, muscular foot and visceral hump. A soft and spongy layer of skin forms a mantle over the visceral hump. The space between the hump and the mantle is called mantle cavity, in which feather-like gills are present. They have respiratory and excretory functions. The anterior head region has sensory tentacles. The mouth contains file-like rasping organ for feeding called radula. Diagram of pila and octopus is given. Pila, apple snail, octopus, devilfish. They are usually dioecious and oviparous with indirect development. Examples are pila, apple snail, pintada, pearl oyster, sepia, cuttlefish, loligo squid, octopus, devilfish, aplysia, sea hare, dentalium tusk shell, and catopleura, that is chitin. Phylum Echinodermata. These animals have an endoskeleton of calcareous ossicles and hence the name Echinodermata, that is spiny bodied. All marine, all are marine with organ system level of organization. The adult echinoderms are radially symmetrical, but larvae are bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic and coelomate animals. Digestive system is complete with mouth on lower, that is ventral side, and anus on upper dorsal side. Mouth on lower ventral side, anus on upper dorsal side. The most distinctive feature of echinoderms is the presence of water vascular system, which helps in locomotion, capture and transport of food and respiration. An excretory system is absent. Sexes are separate. Reproduction is sexual. Fertilization is usually external. External. Development is indirect with free-swimming larvae. Larva is Pipinaria. Example: Asterias, starfish, Echinus sea urchin, Entidon sea lily, Cucumaria sea cucumber, and Ophiura brittle star. Diagram of Asterias and Ophiura is shown. Phylum Hemichordata, also known as tongueworms. Hemichordata was earlier considered as subphylum under phylum Chordata, but now is placed separately under phylum Non-Chordata as Hemichordata. Hemichordata have a rudimentary structure and collar region called stomochord, a structure similar to notochord. This phylum consists of a small group of worm-like marine animals with organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomate animals. The body is cylindrical and is composed of an anterior proboscis, a collar, and a long trunk. Circulatory system is of open type. Respiration takes place through gills. Excretory organ is proboscis gland. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect. Larva is Tornaria larva. Example: Balanoglossus and Saccoglossus. Diagram of Balanoglossus is shown, showing proboscis, collar and trunk with stomochord. Phylum Chordata. Animals belonging to phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by presence of a notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord, and paired pharyngeal gill slits. These are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic coelomate with organ system level of organization. They possess a post-anal tail and a closed circulatory system. Diagram of showing chordata characteristics is given. Nerve cord, hollow dorsal, notochord, gill slits and post-anal part. Comparison of chordates and non-chordates. Chordates are notochord is present, central nervous system is dorsal, hollow and single. Pharynx perforated by gill slits, heart is ventral, a post-anal part tail is present. Non-chordates. Notochord is absent, central nervous system is ventral, solid and double. Gill slits are absent, heart is dorsal if present, post-anal tail is absent. Phylum Chordata is divided into three subphyla: Urochordata or Tunicata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Urochordata or Tunicata also shows retrogressive metamorphosis. Few show bioluminescence. Their outer covering is called tunic or test, made of cellulose. Larval stage is free swimming and adult is sedentary. Diagram of Ascidia is shown. Subphyla Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. In Urochordata, notochord is present only in larval tail, while in Cephalochordata it extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout their life. Examples of Urochordata are Ascidia sulfa, Doliolum, and Cephalochordata are Branchiostoma, that is Amphioxus or lanceolate. The members of subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord during the embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Thus, all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Besides the basic chordate character, vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart with 2, 3, or 4 chambers, kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, and paired appendages, which may be fins or limbs. The subphylum Vertebrata is further divided as follows. Vertebrata divided into Agnatha and Gnathostoma. Agnatha lacks jaw and is divided into class Cyclostomata. Gnathostomata bears jaw, divided into superclasses Pisces and Tetrapoda. Pisces bear fins and has two classes Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Tetrapoda bear limbs and divided into four classes Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and mammals. Vertebrata are also called as craniata. Cyclostomata. All living members of class Cyclostomata are ectoparasites on some fishes. They have a elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits, circular mouth without jaws. Their body is devoid of scales and paired fins. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Circulation is of closed type. Cyclostomes are marine but migrate for spawning to fresh water. After spawning within a few days they die. Their larvae after metamorphosis return to the ocean. Examples Petromyzin, lamprey, and mixin, that is hagfish. A jawless vertebrate, Petromyzin, lamprey, is shown. Class Chondrichthyes. Class Chondrichthyes. They are marine animals with streamlined body and have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Mouth is located ventrally. Notochord is persistent throughout life. Gill slits are separate and without operculum, that is gill cover. The skin is tough, containing minute placoid scales. Teeth are modified placoid scales, which are backwardly directed. Their jaws are very powerful. These animals are predaceous. Due to absence of air bladder, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Heart is two-chambered, one auricle and one ventricle. Some of them have electric organs, example torpedo, and some possess poison sting, example trigon. They are cold-blooded poikilothermous animals, that is, they lack the capacity to regulate their body temperature. Sexes are separate. In males, pelvic fins bear claspers. They have internal fertilization, and many of them are viviparous. Examples Colodon dogfish, Prestes sawfish, Carcharodon great white shark, Trigon stingray, Torpedo electric organ. Diagram of cartilaginous fishes, Colodon and Prestes, is shown. Osteichthyes. It includes both marine and freshwater fishes with bony endoskeleton. Their body is streamlined, mouth is mostly terminal. They have four pairs of gills which are covered by an operculum on each side. Skin is covered with cycloid or tenoid scales. Air bladder is present which regulates buoyancy. Heart is two-chambered, one auricle and one ventricle. They are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is usually external. They are mostly oviparous and development is direct. Marine examples marine exocetus, flying fish, hippocampus seahorse, freshwater fishes, labio rohu, Claris magur, aquarium, betta fighting fish, pterophyllum angelfish. Diagram of hippocampus and Katla is given. Class Amphibia. As the name indicates, amphi means dual, bio is life. Amphibians can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitats. Most of them have two pairs of limbs. Body is divisible into head and trunk. Tail may be present in some. Amphibian skin is moist without scales. The eyes have eyelids. A tympanum represents the ear. Alimentary canal, urinary, and reproductive tracts open into a common chamber called cloaca, which opens to the exterior. Respiration is by gills, lungs, and through skin. The heart is three-chambered, two auricles and one ventricle. These are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. They are oviparous and development is direct. Examples: bufo toad, rana frog, hyla tree frog, salamander, ichthyophis limbless amphibia. Examples of amphibia are salamandra and rana. shown in diagram. Class Reptilia. The class name refers to their creeping or crawling mode of locomotion. Latin ripere or reptum, to creep or crawl. They are mostly terrestrial animals and their body is covered by dry and cornified skin, epidermal scales or scutes. They do not have external ear openings. Tympanum represents ear. Limbs, when present, are two pairs. Heart is usually three-chambered but four-chambered in crocodiles. Reptiles are poikilotherms. Snakes and lizards shed the scales and add skin cast. Sexes are separate, fertilization is internal, they are oviparous and development is direct. Example Chilean turtle, testado tortoise, chameleon, tree lizard, calids, garden lizard, Crocodilus crocodile, alligator alligator, Hemidactylus wall lizard, poisonous snakes Naja cobra, Bangarus crate, Vipera viper. Diagram of chameleon, crocodilus and Chilon and Naja are given. Class Aves. The characteristic feature of aves birds are the presence of feathers and most of them can fly except flightless birds. Example ostrich. They possess beak. The forelimbs are modified into wings. Hind limbs generally have scales and are modified for walking, swimming, clasping the tree branches. Skin is dry without glands except oil gland at the base of the tail. Endoskeleton is fully ossified, that is bony, and the long bones are hollow with air cavities, pneumatic. The digestive tract of birds has additional chambers, the crop and gizzard. Heart is completely four-chambered. They are warm-blooded homeotherms animals. That is, they are able to maintain a constant body temperature. Respiration is by lungs. Air sacs connected to lungs supplement respiration. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. Example Corvus crow, Columba pigeon, Cichacula parrot, Struthio ostrich, Pavo peacock, Aptenodytes penguin, and Nephron vulture. Diagram of Nephron, Struthio, Cichacula, and Pavo are given. Class Mammalia. They are found in a variety of habitats: polar ice caps, deserts, mountains, forests, grasslands, and dark caves. Some of them have adapted to fly or live in water. The most unique mammalian characteristic is presence of milk-producing glands, mammary glands, by which the young ones are nourished. They have two pairs of limbs adapted for walking, running, climbing, burrowing, swimming, or flying. The skin of mammals is unique in possessing hair. External ears or pinnae are present. Different types of teeth are present in the jaw. Heart is four-chambered. They are homeothermous. Respiration is by lungs. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are viviparous with few exceptions and development is direct. Examples oviparous, Ornithorhynchus platypus, viviparous, Macropus kangaroo, Pteropus flying fox, Camelus camel, Macaca monkey, Rattus rat, Canis dog, Felis cat, Elephas elephant, Equus horse, Delphinus common dolphin, Balanoptera blue whale, Panthera tigris tiger, Panthera leo lion. Diagrams of Ornithorhynchus, Macropus, Pteropus, and Balanoptera are given. Salient features of different phyla in animal kingdom. Phylum Porifera. Level of organization cellular. Various symmetry. Coelom is absent, segmentation absent, digestive system absent, intracellular digestion takes place, circulatory system absent, respiratory system absent, but respiration takes place through water canal system. Distinctive feature is body with pores and canals in walls. Has water canal system. They are hermaphrodite, internal fertilization and indirect development. Coelenterata nidaria. Tissue level organization shows radial symmetry, coelom is absent, segmentation absent, digestive system incomplete, shows both intracellular and extracellular digestion. Circulatory system is absent, respiratory system absent. Nidoblast present, shows metagenesis. Has gastrovascular cavity. Ctenophora, tissue level organization, radial symmetry, coelom segmentation are absent. Digestive system is incomplete, shows both intracellular and extracellular digestion. Circulatory, respiratory systems are absent. Distinctive feature is comb plates for locomotion and shows bioluminescence. Platyhelminthes, organ or organ system level of organization. Bilateral symmetry, coelom and segmentation is absent. Incomplete digestive system, has hooks and suckers in parasitic forms. Circulatory system and respiratory system absent. Distinctive feature flat body and possess suckers. Has phlegm cells for osmoregulation. Shows indirect development. They are hermaphrodite and internal fertilization. Ascalminthus, dioecious, internal fertilization, direct and indirect development both. Organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, pseudocoelomates, segmentation is absent, digestive system complete with muscular pharynx, circulatory system, respiratory system absent, often worm-shaped, elongated. Possess excretory tube or excretory pore, H cell rennet cell for osmoregulation and excretion. Annelida, aquatic are dioecious, terrestrial are hermaphrodite. Organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical coelomate, segmentation is present, digestive system is complete, circulatory system, closed circulatory system is present, respiratory system is absent, distinctive feature is body segmentation like rings. Parapodia in aquatic forms and paired ganglia. Nephridia for osmoregulation. Arthropoda, usually dioecious, internal fertilization, direct or indirect development, oviparous. Organs shows organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, coelomate, segmentation is present, digestive system is complete, circulatory system open with a dorsal heart. Respiratory system is present with gills, book lungs or tracheal system. Exoskeleton of cuticle, jointed appendages. Chitinous exoskeleton, possess statocyst, balancing organ, and sensory organs present. Antennae and mosaic eye are present. Malpighian tubules for excretion and osmoregulation. Mollusca, dioecious, indirect development, oviparous. Organ system level organization, bilaterally symmetrical, coelomate. Segmentation is absent. Digestive system is complete with file-like rasping organ, radula. Circulatory system present, respiratory system present, gills in mantle cavity. Distinctive feature is external skeleton of shell, usually present, calcareous uh, skeleton. Sensory tentacles or in the anterior, and feather-like gills in mantle cavity for osmoregulation. Echinodermata, dioecious, indirect development, external fertilization. Osmoregulation, excretory system is absent. Level of organization is organ system level. Radial symmetry by adult and larva show bilateral symmetry, is free swimming. Coelomate segmentation is absent. Digestive system is complete. Circulatory system is open type. Respiratory system is present. Has water vascular system radially symmetrical. Endoskeleton of calcareous ossicles. Hemichordata, dioecious, external fertilization, indirect development, has proboscis gland for osmoregulation and excretory system. Uh, Organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, coelomate. Segmentation is absent, digestive system is complete, circulatory system is of open type, respiratory system present, uh, with help of gills. Worm-like with proboscis, collar and trunk. Stomachod in collar region. Chordata has kidneys for osmoregulation. Invertebrata. Level of organization is organ system. Symmetry bilateral. Coelomate segmentation is present. Digestive system is complete. Circulatory system closed. Ventral muscular heart. Respiratory system present. Paired pharyngeal gill slits. Distinctive feature is notochord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, gill slits with limbs or fins, ventral heart, post-tunnel tail, etc. Summary. The basic fundamental features such as level of organization, symmetry, cell organization, coelom, segmentation, notochord, etc. have enabled us to broadly classify the animal kingdom. Besides the fundamental features, there are many other distinctive characters which are specific for each phyla or class. Porifera includes multicellular animals which exhibit cellular level of organization and have characteristic flagellated conocytes. The cylindrates have tentacles and best nidoblast. They are mostly aquatic, sessile, or free-floating. Ctenophores are marine animals with comb plates. Platyhelminthes have flat body and exhibit bilateral symmetry. Parasitic forms show distinct suckers and hookers. Ascomynthes are pseudocylimates, include parasitic as well as non-parasitic roundworms. Annelids are metamerically segmented animals with true coelom. Arthropods are the most abundant group of animals characterized by presence of jointed appendages. Mollusks have a soft body surrounded by an external calcareous shell. Body is covered with external skeleton made of chitin. The echinoderms possess a spiny skin. Their most distinctive feature is the presence of water vascular system. Hemichordates are a small group of worm-like marine animals. They have a cylindrical body with proboscis, collar, and trunk. Phylum Chordata includes animals which possess a notochord either throughout or during early embryonic life. Other common features observed in the chordates are dorsal hollow nerve cord and paired pharyngeal gill slits. Some of the vertebrates do not possess jaws, agnatha, whereas some of them possess jaws, gnathostomata. Agnatha is represented by class Cyclostomata. They are the most primitive chordates and are ectoparasites on fishes. Gnathostomata has two superclass, Pisces and Tetrapoda. Classes Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes bear fins for locomotion and are grouped under Pisces. The Chondrichthyes are fishes with cartilaginous endoskeleton and are marine. Classes Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia have two pairs of limbs and those grouped under Tetrapoda. Amphibians have adapted to live both on land and water. Reptiles are characterized by presence of dry and cornified skin. Limbs are absent in snakes. Fishes, amphibians, and reptiles are poikilothermous, cold-blooded. Aves are warm-blooded animals with feathers on their bodies and forelimbs modified into wings for flying. Hind limbs are adapted for walking, swimming, perching, clasping. The unique feature of mammals are presence of mammary glands and hairs on skin. They commonly exhibit viviparity. Examples of phylum Porifera, Cycon scypha, Spongilla, freshwater sponge, Euspongia, bath sponge. Phylum Coelenterata, Aurelia, Medusa, Adamsia, polypform. Examples: Physalia, Portuguese man of war; Adamsia, sea anemone; Pernatula, sea pain; Gorgonia, sea fan; and Meandrina, brain coral. Obelia. Examples of Ctenophora, Pleurobrachia, and Ctenoplena. Phylum Platyhelminthes, Taenia, tapeworm; Phascula, liver flake. Ascalminthes, Ascaris roundworm, Vaucaria filaria worm, Ancyclostoma hookworm. Phylum Annelida, Nereis ferritima earthworm, Hirudinaria blood-sucking lich. Arthropoda. Economically important insects are Apis honeybee, Bombyx silkworm, Laccifer insect. Vectors Anopheles, Culex, and Aedes mosquitoes. Gregarious pest Locusta locust, living fossil Limulus king crab. Phylum Mollusca. Phyla apple snail, Pentada pearl oyster, Sepia, cuttlefish, loligo squid, octopus devilfish, Aplysia, sea hare, Dentalium tusk shell, and Caterpillar chiton. Echinodermata, Asteria starfish, Echinus sea urchin, Antedon sea lily, Cucumaria sea cucumber, Ophiura brittle star. Hemichordata, Balanoglossus saccoglossus. Chordata, Urochordata, Ascidia sulfadolulum, Cephalochordata, Branchiostoma, Amphixus lancelet. Vertebrata, Cyclostoma, Cyclostomata, Petromyzon lamprey, Mexins hagfish. Chondrichthyes, Scoliodon dogfish, Prestes sawfish, Carcharodon, great white shark, Trigon, stingray, torpedo, electric organ. Ostrichthyes, marine, Exocetus flying fish, Hippocampus seahorse, freshwater labia rohu, Katla katla, Clarius magur, aquarium betta flying fish, Pterophyllum, angelfish. Amphibia, Bufo toad, Rana frog, Hyla tree frog, Salamandra salamander, Ichthyophis limbless amphibia. Reptilia, Chilon turtle, Testero tortoise, chameleon tree lizard, calotes garden lizard, Crocodilus crocodile, alligator alligator, Hemidactylus wall lizard, poisonous snake naja naja, cobra, Bangarus crit, Vipera viper, Aves, Corvus crow, Columba pigeon, Citacola parrot, Struthi ostrich, Pavo peacock, Aptenodytes, penguin, Nephron vulture. Mammalia, Oviparous ornithorhynchus platypus, Viviparous Macropus kangaroo, Pteropus flying fox, Camelus camel, Macaca monkey, Rattus rat, Canis dog, Felis cat, Elephas elephant, Equus horse, Delphinus common dolphin, Balanoptera blue whale, Panthera tigris tiger, Panthera leo lion, Panthera pardus leopard.